everyone, I am back with a few more Destash lots. These lots will be $15 shipped. So let me go ahead and get started. If you are interested in any of these lots, I will have the information below. My email address, you can contact me through there. And we'll start with this lot. This is a lace lot. And I believe the majority of the laces here are vintage. So you will get that. I'm not sure how much is on there. There is quite a bit of this particular lace. That one is vintage. This one is vintage as well. And there's a nice piece of that one. Here is, I guess, just a little scrap piece. It's super soft. That's really pretty. Most of these laces are whites, creams, ivories. So here's some lace here. And it's a pretty good size piece there. Yeah, looks like this is ribbon. It's in the bag, so I'll go ahead and include it. I'm not sure if this is vintage or not. I believe that it is, but I'm not positive. Here we have some wider lace. It's probably about 1.5 inches. And there's a pretty good size piece here. This piece is really soft too. This might be the same. Yes, this is the same. So you'll get 2 pieces of this particular ribbon. Then we have, or I'm sorry, lace. I don't know what this is called. This might even be antique. I had some antique laces and trims that this might be from that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it would look really nice in a junk journal or any type of craft project. I don't know what this is, but there's some really nice crocheted lace around the edge. It might have been an old pillow or pillowcase rather. I'm not sure, but I definitely was not going to throw it out because I know it can be used by someone. Here's a pretty nice sized piece of this lace. And then we have that. Here is this. I'm pretty sure all of this is probably vintage. I typically stick with vintage laces. Not to say I won't use newer stuff, but I typically find laces at thrift stores and garage sales and things like that, flea markets, wherever I can get it. I even purchase it off Etsy. Okay, I need to speed up here. This looks like someone had used it in the past and taken it off a project, but look how pretty that is. It could still be used. Looks like there's just some paper. It looks like it comes right off. So that is a beautiful piece of trim. Here is, this might even be an antique piece. Again, I'm not positive. It's definitely old. So there is that. Here's a little piece of trim with some little beads. This looks like it's either a doily or a curtain piece. This is probably about 2 inches, I guess. A little over 2, 2.5. And here's another white piece of lace. Alright, then we have some trim here. This was in the bag, so I'm going to leave it in, but it looks like an old pin or something, probably from a wedding or something like that. So that would look pretty on a project. So I'm going to leave it in the bag. This has some yellow in it. There's quite a bit in there, as you can see. We have some, I think this is more crocheted lace. And here's what this looks like. And then finally, this feels a little stiff, but it's still pretty. So there we have it. That will be lot number 1 in this video. Again, that will be $15. There's quite a bit there. And I'm going to try to get through the next 2 lots a little more quickly. The next 2 lots will be supplies for junk journals and things like that. Of course, as I always say, you can definitely use the supplies for any type of craft projects. So this will be a flat rate envelope, completely full. And let's just see how much it weighs. There's quite a bit of supplies here. Just over 2 pounds, so you will get about 2 pounds of supplies here. Here we go. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but the majority of these items are vintage. Here we have some cute little cards. There's what the back looks like. And then some, I guess these, I think these were from a magic, some type of magic. Here's some more, some type of magic sets or something like that. Alright, so then we have some flashcards. I believe these are the last of the flashcards that I have. So here's some sign language. I believe these are the last of the sign language flashcards that I have. They are dated 1988. And you will get a stack of those. Here I have a few vintage repair tags. You can see they're nicely aged for you. And then we have some vintage paper, the cute little rabbit on there. You get several pieces of that. Here's some vintage party invites. So you'll get several of those. We have some vintage bingo cards. And just assume everything is vintage unless I say that it is not. So here's a couple bingo cards. Here are some 1970s, some type of learning cards. And I think this is the last of these that I had, but I would put cardstock over them and then put some type of journaling lines or something. So, and then some lace or ribbon at the top, and they made really nice inserts. So you'll get several of those. Then we move on to the vintage stationery. So you will get several of these note cards. And here is, see, I think you get several of these, if I'm not mistaken. I included several of these. There's some yellow paper. You get a small stack of that. Here you will get 3 sets here. So one has the flowers on it, and then the other one is just white. So you'll get 3 letter sets there. Here's a few sheets of this letter paper with some roses, and then we have this letter paper here, and you get a couple sheets of that. Okay, now we get into the newer items, and these are note cards with envelopes, all different bright colors. Here's some letter sets, really bright colors. I guess this is a note card, but I think I've used them as tag inserts. So you'll get a few of those. Then we just have a variety of different items you can use for inserts. Here's some envelopes. Here's some cards. So you'll get a stack of that stuff. Here are a couple. I'm not sure if these are vintage or not, but they're cute. So you'll get a couple of these cards, and the envelopes are really cute. Then you will get a stack of vintage book pages, and they are from dictionaries. They have some really nice images on them. And it looks like they're all different ways. I just started grabbing things and putting them into the envelopes, or the flat rate envelopes rather. So you will get a stack of those to use in your craft projects. Here is a small stack of envelopes ready to tea dye, coffee dye. Some of them are really nice. This one's really thick with lining. I believe there's another one. I believe some of them, here's some craft paper envelopes. That one has a gray interior. All right, you will also get some larger book pages, and I believe these are from a 1920s, some sort of dictionary, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So you will get some of those. They have perfect aging on them for junk journals. Here are a few, I don't know, I think these are called newspaper sheets. I'm not really sure, but it's like the paper that you use in kindergarten to learn how to write your letters. Then I have some, I believe this is linen paper if I'm not mistaken, but you will get a stack of that along with envelopes. Then we have some, this might be linen too. It has a nicer quality to it. Oh, there's some more of that lined paper. And then I have a few of these vintage picture frames here. And I've used these in journals, and sometimes I cut them apart and use this part as a frame, or I cut this part off and use that as a frame, but they really add some interest in journals, and you can put some cardstock paper behind it to make it look a little more nicer, a picture. It just, I really enjoyed having those and using those. So there you go. That will be lot number 2. Again, it will be $15 for the stack. That will include the shipping.